Hello, welcome to another live stream, fellow internet. My name is Anime Mars Guy. I hope you are all doing well. Let me just change the title for a moment, which is Come Stretch with Me 1. I know the title sounds a bit weird, but bear with me. That doesn't sound. Come join me and stretch together. That sounds about right. Anyway, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing very well. I am doing semi okay with my life. Work has been absolutely abysmal, working a bit longer than I wanted to, but nonetheless, I have plowed through my life. I done the best I can do today without being overstressed or being too tired as well. Oh, I just realized maybe you can't hear me very clearly because the microphone's not near me. Apologies. So, how is everyone doing? Today we are going to do something different. We're not going to do workout this time. We're going to do some stretches. So I realized the importance of having a healthy body. You also need to do some good stretches as well, especially for the back. My back has been killing me lately. I don't know why, or maybe I slept wrong or something, but my back has been a bit of a doozy. So I will be doing some stretches to help alleviate my back pain and my problem. Just one moment before we do that, I am trying to connect to my other platform to live stream. One moment. Okay, if you don't know, my name is Anime Mask Guy. I live stream every Monday, and I stream on different platforms. One is Kick, one is YouTube, and one is Twitch. So now Kick is live. Hello, Kick. Hello, Internet of Kicks. I am live now. Anyway, for those of you that's still with me and haven't disappeared just yet, thank you for not going away. Now, as I said, today's title, we are going to do some stretches instead. And I've actually prepared a list of things I would love to share with you. It's been bugging me for a while, but I would like to share these things with you today because I believe you're all going to love it. The topics I'm going to share today. But let me just get the list out and boom. Let's see. Come on. What's going on? Why are you not? There we go. Come on. Oh, great. Of course, you're not working how I intended you to work. Okay. All right, here we go. Should we working now? All right. First things first, we're going to do some simple exercises. We're going to warm up our shoulders. And while I warm up my shoulders, I'm going to talk to you about something that's really got me going. All right, let's see if you can still see me. Okay, here we go. All right, you can still see me. Good, perfect. Now, first one, our shoulders. We're going to stretch our arm upwards. We're using our palm going facing upwards like that. And as we go round this way, turn your hand and back like that. And your palm should be facing behind you. And while you're going forward again, twist your palm again, going up. Twist it again, facing the other way. And we're going to do this about 10 times. But as I was saying, what is the conspiracy? Well, not conspiracy. Well, that is my first topic, actually. I just kind of spoiled it. So, what is the first topic I want to talk about? I have a few conspiracy theories, but I'm going to share with you one of them. Now, the first conspiracy theory, I've been having this for a while and I've been thinking about it and pondering about it as well. And that is the current job market. Have For those of you who are looking for a job or graduated and still seeking for a job, or people who want to transition to a new job and everything, you will have noticed that the job market is absolutely abysmal. Very weirdly so that even though no matter how much you apply for, and come and say you've successful, you come to the interview, you went for two or three of them, then all of a sudden they'll come back to you and say, "Sorry, you're not the person we're looking for. You are overqualified, underqualified, inexperienced, too experienced, or whatever the reason it is." They give you some mumbo jumbo amount of excuses. Now let's do this. Switch the other side now. And I've applied for over about 300 jobs, and I think I'm getting close to about 400 to 500 now. I can't remember the exact number, but I have applied for numbers, a numerous amount, ranging from different kinds of jobs, from customer service, which is what I'm currently doing. But I thought if I can't get the job, I can't get any new roles, I might as well go for the same one, then different company. No luck with that, even though I'm currently doing it. Try to go for a sales job. I go for graphic design because I used to, you know, study graphic design, and I'm sort of doing semi graphic design works at work because they asked me to do so, and I help. And I also applied for teaching roles, teaching assistant role, caretaker role, and all sorts of. And I also one time I also applied for a youth, sort of like a helping the youth kind of. I don't know what remember what they call it now, but anyway, I've applied for these kind of role, number of roles, different types of roles, and all of them always come back with something similar. They always say you're too experienced, over experienced, underqualified, overqualified for some reason. I don't know how, because I have never, well, got any higher indication than, well, BTEC diploma. Apparently, I'm overqualified for some of the jobs. And then some of them say I'm inexperienced or too experienced. And I'm like wondering, well, it's either the other or neither of them. You can't just tell me I am both of them at the same time. Because for someone who's trying to revamp their CV and everything, I'm basing on what the employers has told me that I am lacking in. And I don't know what I'm lacking in or over in which department. I don't know. So why am I talking about job market? Well, mainly is to talk about, you hear all these businesses saying that they are trying to revamp the job market, trying to help the workflow, increase job markets and whatnot, and trying to help people get jobs. But for some reason, the moment they said that, in the same year, they decided to have AI replacing most of their workers and fired hundreds of thousands of people. And then all of a sudden, say they saved money, made lots of money, and whatnot. Just gonna take a break for a bit. That was quite, whew, that was tiring, isn't it? Doing some stretches. But nonetheless, we keep hearing weird news about the job market. Companies firing thousands and thousands of people. And you got and then the same company saying that we don't have enough people to working for us. And then all of a sudden use AI to replace us as well. I start to have a deep rabbit hole thinking, wondering why is it that the government is pushing these big companies, and we're talking about really big companies like Amazon and Google and all them a lot, that they need to, open up more job markets. And they do. They open a lot more. But at the same time, fired a lot of people at the same time. And then once they hire new people to replace the old workers that's been there for many years, loyal people especially, they and give them a and give those new people applying for the same role with a lower pay, they fire those same new people by saying we don't need you anymore. We have AI now. And you're like, what the hell is happening? I not only can't find a job, I'm being replaced by AI, And now, very soon, robots probably will replace us very soon because we've seen all these news about robots around the world now. They're getting quite sophisticated. China just did one for Lunar New Year where these robots are performing martial arts performance live on stage with other actual martial artists who has trained for most of their lives probably. But these robots probably only trained or even just learned to do martial arts in the last 10 minutes by inputting the commands into them. That's crazy, isn't it? And so I said, what's my conspiracy theory about this all? Well, without further ado, I'm not going to mince my words. I'm going to go straight to the point. Slavery. Now, probably would you be wondering, what the hell do you mean by slavery? Well, simple. I'm using based on my own pseudo intellect, so I'm not that smart, and based on brief history of what I've learned so far about aristocracy and slaveries and communism and all that stuff, and novels as well. That it has a genre of aristocracy as well in the novel, well, the theme of it. The one thing I found in common is that money only flows, but during these kind of like themes, and especially back in history where we did have royals, nobles, and commoners and slaveries, money initially only moved around rich people. They never really moved around the poor people, if you think about it. Because the only commodity they do have where they really make the market really move is slavery. But back then, you have to use money to pay for slavery. But at some point, somewhere, you didn't have to pay for slavery because it became like a legal binding document that you become someone's property working for them. Have you seen enough TV shows about loan sharks or or movies, novels, whatever, any sort of media, like entertainment media, you have seen something about loan shark. You notice one thing. Loan shark will make you sign a binding contract. If you don't pay in time, they can legally take you and make you their property and make you work for them for free, like a slave, but legally as well. Obviously, in nowadays time, is not legal to do such a human trafficking, and it's against human rights, obviously. But what I'm saying about why I believe is connected to slavery is because at some point somewhere we're not going to have money moving around poor people or communists, I should say, because if no one's working, no one's buying these big companies products, how is the money going to move? Where's the money going to move then? It's going to stagnate. The market's going to crash at some point. But surely these big companies know, right? Right? Maybe some of them don't. Some of these, greedy scums probably don't know. They don't see as far in the future as they should. But I have a feeling some of them do, and some of them are quite evil and are quite, well, I should say, quite debauchery, I should say. No, despicable is one other word, but I want to say is that there's a possibility that they are trying to push for something very sinister in the future, where not only money is no longer able to move around poor people because we have no choice to ask for loans, we will end up having to rely on the government or people of power to give us money in order for us to, one, to live, to eat, well, and to sleep as well. What are we going to do then if we can't pay those money back? Well, it seems like free labor job is the only way we can pay it back, and most likely it's going to be a very legal way to do so. But think about it. Like I said, at some point there's no going to be working actual jobs in the future if we carry on pushing for AIs and robots replacing us humans. Because one, AIs already replaced most of the office types works already. Robots is going to come for manual labor jobs. And we as human beings, if we can't do office works and manual labor jobs, what good are we then? We can't do anything else and we can't earn any money. So we will end up having to borrow money and we're going to end up having to, well, borrow money from like banks and the government, and we can't pay it back. It seems like the only way we can pay it back is, well, offer up our body to do free labors to pay off the loan. But what then? What's going to happen then? And that's where my train of thoughts kind of stopped right there because I can't really think any further. And as I said, it's pseudo intellect. And these are conspiracy theory. This isn't really a actual, real, you know, intellectual thinking, or I haven't really thought of it very far. But like I said, it's a work in progress. This is one of my thoughts and patterns I've gone so far in my deep rabbit hole, and I just thought to myself, yeah, that's enough internet for tonight. So yeah, that's just something I want to share with you about my current debacle of trying to find a new job. That's really what I'm trying to say. So when I'm trying to find a new job, I'm facing a dilemma. And this dilemma has made me go into a deep rabbit hole of conspiracy theory of my own. I've been with my own thoughts for too long, as you can tell. But anyway, let's do our next stretches, which is going to be a fun one because it's going to be breaking my back. But next topic I'm going to talk about is anime. I don't know about you, but I did name myself my channel the Anime Mask Guy. So obviously we should be talking about anime. Now, I want to ask my audience, my dear viewers, how many of you have been watching anime in your free time? Because I, as an adult in my 30s, has been finding it difficult to read or watch. No, reading a manga I've been doing regularly, but watching anime hasn't. But before I do that, let me tell you what the stretch is. I can't remember what this is called, but it's very much a very good dynamic stretch to stretch the hamstring here and the back as well. So I'll show you what to do. So you bring this arm right here, you go underneath your leg like that, stretching your back all the way as much as you can. And as you come back out, you are going to bring your arm up like this. Oh my goodness, I am dying. And as you back down again, that should stretch pretty much your whole entire body. And while I'm doing this, destroying my body because I'm old, I'm going to be talking about anime. Oh, so what anime? Oh shoot, I'm just falling down. I'll be talking about. I just recently finished Spy X Family. Now I've been a big fan of Spy X Family since reading the manga, and I really love those characters, and they are pretty much absurd. These characters, but nonetheless, they are fun to watch and one fun to read as well. And seeing how Anya sounds like in real life does, tug your heartstring because you realize that, oh, this is just a child, although the voice actress isn't. Oh, time to switch side now. But nonetheless, I've enjoyed Spy X Family. I can't remember which season it was anymore now, but the new one has been very enjoyable to watch, and I do love it. And you can tell the budget for this anime has increased a fair bit, but nonetheless, I recommend watching it. I recommend anyone who's never seen or heard about it, highly recommend read a manga and watch the anime. All right, here we go. And there's another anime I've also finished quite a while back. It was called, I can't remember what's it called. I think it was something like Campfire. Oh, hold on. I've written it down somewhere. Hold on. Let's see. The name is called Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. So if you can tell from the title, that's basically a isekai anime about a guy being transported to a fancy genre world with knights and dragons and dwarves and elves. And there's like demons and all that stuff. He gets transported to that world, but he doesn't have any fantastic or fantastical abilities like shooting lightning, fireballs, or whatnot. He has a skill called online grocery where he can buy anything that he can that's available in the modern world, but Japanese online store. So he can go all the soy sauce, rice, whatnot, and this made the absurd skill because he get to make delicious food while traveling the fancy world. Isn't that a dream? I think everyone would love that as well. Able to travel, just enjoying nature at its finest, eat the food that's provided, good food as well, and just enjoy life. I think everyone loves that. I think I would as well. I watched that. I watched the new season. I did enjoy it, and I can tell they've definitely upped the budget for it because I remember the season one it was a lot more stockier Only when it was cooking, they became a bit more fluid. This one, however, season two, the whole entire animation had more fluidity and obviously a lot more animation to it. And you can tell, and there's one thing as well, you can tell how good the budget is for those animes, is watching the intro. If the intro is dynamic, really good, like really good dynamic movements and well animated, you can damn well know that the entire series will be very well animated as well. And that you won't be having a situation similar to One Punch Man or being dubbed as One Frame Man, where you remember Garo sliding down the grass. You're not going to see a PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, that's one way you can tell whether or not that this anime has good budget or not. But nonetheless, I feel like you shouldn't also judge the anime based on its intro and its budget as well. There are some good animes out there that has low budget and still does a very impeccable job in doing what they're doing. Versus this anime I just said, Campfire with my absurd skill, blah blah blah. Because in season one, it didn't really have that much budget onto it. It was only maybe a few scenes where, very short, particular few seconds where they're moving a lot more human-like. But the rest of it was a bit like a PowerPoint presentation. But nonetheless, it was very enjoyable to watch. Oh, all right then. So that's pretty much it. I want to talk about anime. But speaking about anime, have you guys heard about the K-pop debacle? So, for those of you who aren't aware of this, I was only aware because my girlfriend shared this with me. Yes, I have a girlfriend if you are not aware of. She said that parents took their kids to a K-pop event, which is called K-pop, um, sort of like debuting and also appreciating K-pop itself. But before I do that, I'm going to introduce the new stretching exercise. It's called the hip circle, if I remember correctly. Basically, if you can balance, do this, raise your leg up, and go round like that. Ooh, that's was brutal. If you can't balance, hold on to a wall or something, bring your knee up, go round. Oh, that's brutal. This should help open up your hip. One more. Oh, that's brutal. You can tell I'm like an old man because, oh my goodness, my hip is tight. Oh, wow. I need to do more stretches. Oh, whoosh. Anyway, I was just saying the K-pop, whatever event they were called, a lot of parents were thinking that they're going to be seeing K-pop demon hunters singing "Golden" and "Free" and this is what it sounds like and so on and so forth. You know, K-pop demon hunters, anime, basically cartoon characters on screen or something similar to cartoon characters. What do you think? How stupid can you be? I agree. Very stupid indeed. What made you think that K-pop is mean kid pop? No, K-pop is Korean pop, and there's no such thing as K-pop as far as I know. I mean, kid pop, not K-pop. K-pop does exist, but kid pop itself, I don't know is that a genre, an actual genre. All right, left side. But nonetheless, a lot of parents are complaining about it, and I was, having a not a debate, more like just discussion about with my girlfriend. Oh, my left side is a lot better than my right. Wow. And we were talking about, how stupid can the parents be? Because, you should at least do some form of research. You can't just say, oh, look, because my kid said so, we should go. That's like me, one of my kids would come up to me and say that, hey, I want to go to Cardi B because I saw Cardi B attending the SpongeBob event and she must be kid friendly. Obviously, for those of you who know about Cardi B and know about the SpongeBob debacle event, you will know that was not kid friendly at all. But for a parent that doesn't know who Cardi B is, most parents probably wouldn't know because they want to live in the real world and don't want to be bombarded with all these soap operas of celebrities, and I applaud them for that, and I do believe it's a good thing to do so. Too much internet is bad for you. But anyway, he doesn't know Cardi B, and then you say, oh yeah, if Cardi B went to SpongeBob, surely Cardi B is a kid-friendly thing. And then went there and realized, oh my goodness, what have I done? But instead of blaming yourself for not doing the due diligence of research, you blame the event. Now, I was talking about that. I was talking about I was like, oh, I was just giving a little discussion with my girlfriend, saying, oh my God, it's just a bit similar. Like, oh, if my one of my kids went and said, oh, they want to go anime convention. I said, yeah, yeah, okay, I will go there. And when we go to anime convention, we see a lot of women's in their scandalous, cosplay outfits. There are characters that are, oh, let's just say, dressed to nothing, next to nothing. And as soon as she mentioned that, as she said, "You like those things, don't you? You like those huge booba." And the moment she said "huge booba" and anime, I, I don't know why, but it reminded me of one particular anime that has the has amazing fan service, but also the most ridiculous fan service as all. How many of you know about an anime called High School of the Dead? Hmm. Because if you know anything about High School of the Dead, it is the biggest fan service anime out there. It has all the booba you want on screen. And the mechanics of booba as well. Because my goodness, do they shake on screen? Now, I watched this as a teenager. Obviously, I loved the two bits. Now, as an adult, I find it very weird. And I'm trying not to goon as much as I used to. Because gooning is bad for your brain, by the way. When we don't need to get too much into it, which we already, if you do your own research, you would know about, the dopamine and all that stuff it does to your brain. It kind of really messes you up. But nonetheless, I want to say about this. I found a video and showed it to my girlfriend. When she said about anime boobs and how much I love it, I said to her, "Let me show you this. How ridiculous of the fact that not only these huge honkers were moving individually like its own being, it dodged a bullet as well. So for those of you who don't know anything about High School of the Dead, there's one particular scene that the main character is trying to snipe. He can't snipe, so instead he put it down on the floor. I won't spoil too much because he did more than that, but nonetheless, he put it where he's lying down and he starts shooting. As he shot, one of the bullets, there was a samurai girl with huge honkers, was dodging the bullet and slashing the zombies. And as she was dodging, she decided to do some form of a cartwheel backflip or something, and her boobas was like this individually, and it dodged the bullet as it goes across. So it goes like the one boob goes down, the bullet goes across the one that went down, and as the other one was up, and as it goes past somewhat in the middle, the boobs move enough speed to do this. So the other one goes up and the other one goes down. So the bullet goes past through her entire chest without hurting her. Now, obviously, the comments will go wild for it. But people did their own analysis saying that the speed it has to travel at in order for the boobs to dodge the bullet is we're talking about breaking the sound barrier. And when she breaks the sound barrier, it doesn't even harm her body at the same time. And obviously, we're calling her Titanium Woman because, yeah, well, there's nothing else you can really explain. You can't really explain how. But obviously, there's anime, so there's anime logic. But nonetheless, I just want to say how ridiculous this particular scene was, and it did bring me a lot of joy, only because of how funny it is, not because of for the other reason. But nonetheless, it was funny to watch, and obviously, watching my girlfriend's reaction was even more funnier because, like I said, she was astounded by well how horrifying this was, basically. But yes, it was fun. That was a fun, bad tad bit of yeah conversation we had. Now, before we finish, I'm going to talk about movies that is coming in 2026. So before that, let's see what other movement we should do. All right, let's do some leg swing. Now, how many of you? Let me just check the angle of the camera. Okay, semi see me. All right, lower it down a bit. Okay, here we go. So leg swing, very simple. With one leg going up, back and forth, back and forth. But you can't balance. Hold on to the wall like this. So you go back, forth, keeping your body still. Go back and forth. You have a bit more room. Yeah, if you give us a bit more room doing this will be better, so you don't be kicking anything. But this is good for your leg, especially for myself. My hip is dead as a rock. But anyway, I saw two movie trailers just recently, and I want to share with you. One is Toy Story 5, and the other one is The Mummy. Now, to begin with, Toy Story 5, I am glad they didn't ruin my childhood just yet, Disney, because the trailer shows some promise, and I'm glad it's showing to be quite promising. And I'm hoping this will bring new childhood memories for the new generation of kids, because that's what Toy Story did for me. They brought me good childhood memories about toys and everything, and I'm hoping this movie will bring something similar as well, something joyous, so that they also learn and know the joy of playing with toys. Because I have to say, playing with toys is good for your brain, I believe, as a kid, because it really brings out your, imagination, artistic side, and everything, instead of just watching the internet mindlessly like a zombie. Anyway, the next movie was The Mummy, the newest one. If any of you don't know, there's a new movie for The Mummy. I don't know if this is a reboot or not, but I could tell you this. It looks terrible, because this looks like the combination of The Conjuring and The Evil Dead, or something like that, or The Exorcism or something. It's nothing to spoil it or anything, but I'll show you the comments on the movie, and I thought that was more entertaining than the movie itself. So, if you watch the trailer, you would realize that the parents lost a daughter for 8 years. Now they found a daughter 8 years later, and she was found in some kind of a sarcophagus or something related to the mummy, Egyptian history or something. She was stuck in there, and now they said, you can bring her back home. And obviously, there's something wrong with her. That's why. That's where the horror movie synopsis comes from, and those plots moves on. But these are the comments. First one I found was, "We found your missing daughter after 8 years, acting like a crazy corpse." Parents responded, "Nah, bro, we're over that. We're good." Next comment was, "You see a child like this, and you take her home." Indeed, you see a crazy child that looks like she looks like a zombie. Your first point of view is, yeah, I should take her home. I should, rather than keep her in the hospital to see, further monitor her, just make sure she's good. Yeah, rather than doing that, we take her home. Yes, indeed. The next comment, I love this one. "The whole basis of this movie is undone by the simple phrase, 'Why would you take that home?'" Yep, 100% agree. This whole movie could have been over if the parents decide to say, "Yeah, no, that's fine. We're not taking her back home. Let's make sure that she's actually fine. Then we take her back home," or something along the line. And then this one, "She just needs our care and lots of love. Valid response to finding your daughter acting like a bloodthirsty zombie." Indeed, indeed it is. Oh, but yeah, there's many comments. And then this one, I love this one as well. "I feel like What Happened to Katie," the one that was missing, "would have been a better title." And I agree as well. But the title for The Mummy makes no sense, but What Happened to Katie makes more sense. But anyway, that is all today. I had fun streaming, and I had fun with you guys joining me in my stretch, even though I started quite late today. But nonetheless, I enjoy every one of you being here with me today and enjoying hearing me yapping for this long. Now, I am going to end the stream now today, and we'll be back for more next week. But if you have any questions or anything like that, well, actually, I don't know why I said you have any questions or anything like that. You can follow me on any of our socials. I am on Twitch, I am on Kick, I'm on YouTube as well. I have Instagram and TikTok as well. I do more videos. I do other videos as well, other than just live streaming. Come check me out on these socials. I would love to see you guys there, and I would love to see more of you guys joining me for next week workout or stretch or anything it is we'll do. I haven't decided just yet, but the stretch today was quite good. I did enjoy it. It really helped make my body feel a bit more alive rather than dead. But anyway, thank you all today. Thank you for joining me. I see you all next time. Goodbye.